We will now run through the different parts of the inhalation sedation machine. All machines are the Quantiflex monitored dial mixer machines. So as you can see, they have 4 cylinders, gas cylinders attached to the machine, and they're labelled in use or full. So there's 2 nitrous oxide cylinders and 2 oxygen. One of each will be full and one of each will be in use, and the labels can be interchanged depending on which ones are full and in use. The next thing we'll look at is the pressure reducing valve, which reduces the high pressures in the cylinders down to around 60 psi. And then the gases then run from the cylinders through the colour-coded, non-interchangeable NIST pipelines into the machine head. This is the common gas outlet. This is where the patient breathing system connects to, and we use the Porter-Brown system. So the mixed gases come out of here and along the fresh gas pipe, which then connects to the masks. There is also the 2-litre reservoir bag, which allows adjustment of total gas flow to suit each patient's minute volume and allows monitoring of respiration during treatment. This is the oxygen flush button, which delivers a burst of oxygen to the patient if needed. You then have the gas flow control valve to regulate total gas flow, and the gas mixture dial to adjust the percentage of oxygen and nitrous oxide, and the flow meters for both gases, so you know how much you're delivering of each to the patient. And finally, the pressure gauges that tell you how much gas remains in each in-use cylinder. We will now look at how to safely change a cylinder, as well as some of the other crucial parts of the inhalation sedation machine. Make sure you're transporting the gas cylinders using the designated gas cylinder carriers that are on wheels to avoid injury. To remove the empty cylinder, firstly unbuckle the Velcro strap at the base, place your foot underneath the cylinder to secure, and then turn the handle to release the empty gas cylinder and gently remove. Place it into the gas cylinder transporter and remove the sign to place on the new cylinder. Next, we will look at the cylinders and how to safely fit them to the machine. The cylinders we use have a pin index safety system. Each cylinder has a unique configuration of holes in the face of the cylinder valve, and these holes match precisely with the pins in the yoke attached to the machine. So the nitrous oxide cylinder holes will not fit the pins on the yoke for the oxygen cylinder, and vice versa. This prevents the wrong cylinder being fitted to the equipment and therefore prevents the wrong gas being administered to the patient. So if we look at the 2 cylinders side by side, you'll notice with the nitrous oxide cylinder, the 2 holes are close together and off to the side, whereas the oxygen cylinder holes are further apart from each other. The new cylinder valves are protected by a tamper-evidence seal. If this is not intact, then do not use the cylinder. To remove, tear along the perforations and retain the red clip to put back onto the empty cylinder to protect the valve once it's finished with. So if we look on the machine, there is the pins on the yoke, and that is where the holes on the cylinder need to match into. So you take your cylinder, gently place it underneath, and then line up the holes with the pins and make sure they slot in all the way in so it's sitting flush. And then secure the cylinder with your foot gently, and then just tighten the handle so it's nice and tight, but don't overly tighten it. And then make sure you put your label back onto the cylinder, labelling it full, so there's no confusion over which one is in use and which one is full. So one of the important parts of the machine with regards to the gas cylinders and the seal that it forms so that all of the gas goes through the machine and none escapes is this little thing here, which is called a Bodoc seal, and it's essentially a rubber washer. and that helps to form a tight seal between the gas cylinder and the machine. These can wear thin eventually over time, and you can see there's a little bit of indentation there already, especially when compared to a new one. It's useful to have spares of these in your clinic because these can sometimes drop off and go missing. And if that happens, if there isn't a Bodox seal on, you cannot use the machine. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate now how you'll know the Bodox seal is missing through the difference in sound that's made when there isn't a tight seal between the cylinder and the machine. Okay, so this cylinder is attached to the machine with a Bodox seal in place. So when you turn it on, no noise. Okay? Just turn that off. This, however, has been put on without a Bodox seal. So I'll turn that one on. And turn it off quickly. But you can see there will be no mistaking when the Bodox seal is missing.
It is good practice to change the Bodox seal every 2 years or sooner if it becomes damaged. If there's any cracking or splits, you must replace it. And also, the Bodox seal must always be clean and free from oil and grease.